Evening, guys, out there in the side chat. Good to see you guys and gals. We got a special guest here tonight. Most of you know him. There might be a few out there that don't know him. He has been reloading and casting for, I'll let him correct me when I get through talking, 40, 50 years. Got a lot of experience. Viejo, I first seen you on High Boys years ago. We're talking, what year did you first go on him and start streaming live? I'm trying to think.
I went up and visited him, gosh sakes. I'm going to say it was 10 years ago when I first visited with him, and then we did some live streams and stuff. Probably 6-7 years ago, we started doing some things together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch back there in my bedroom, Georgia Shooting Connection too in the early days, but I'd see you on High Boys. You usually were the only one on. And that's how I first became aware of you back then. But he's got a good channel, guys. Check him out. A lot of knowledge, way more than me. I'm still a rookie compared to him. When he talks though, like about casting, here a while back, a long time ago, he was talking about the profile or something, and I understood what he meant. Now I forget because it's been so long. But when I get my casting stuff, him and Andy's the ones I need to talk to because they know their
get you rocking and rolling for sure.
So we're glad to have him. Thank you for being here, Walter or Viejo.
Either way.
Okay. Some don't like their name called, and
my previous channel had went by my full name, Walter Bunning. And I didn't care. Right. It's like come and take them, boys. I don't care if you know who I am.
Still hard.
Then I lost that channel, and I had to come up with a new name. So
I'm gonna have to struggle tonight, guys, to see the little pop out chat because my eyes again going through that again. I think I need two big screens, one above me and one over here. That way, like Mac's got. But yeah, great to have you, Walter. Appreciate you being here, man. Sir. Mac texted me he is tied up in a Mac meeting. Mac man is in a Mac meeting, so.
Yeah, fancy that, right? He's been busier in a bull's butt in fly season. I'll tell you what, adding that third truck, he thought he was busy when he added the second truck. Now he's got a third route on there, and holy cow, he is busy, man. But good for him and the missus. They're working hard, and you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, 3 trucks. Wow. I mean, that's way better than one. That was one of my dream jobs, actually. I mentioned that here the other week because I worked on cars. I worked on cars, service writer, and then I also sold cars for a while, a little bit here and there. And that was something I always wanted to do. That and I got to be a service advisor, but never did work on a Mack truck. I thought, I'd like to own that thing. But you're talking a lot of money even back in the day. We're talking about late 70s here. When I was young.
But when you think about it, he lives there in the Phoenix, Arizona area. For you guys that don't know, and operates his Mac Tools business. And to me, it would be almost a dream job too if you like tools, and he's driving around in an air conditioned truck all day long and gets to hang out with guys at the mechanic shops and see all of the work that they're doing and support them and so forth. It's just kind of a good kind of a job to have in that part of, well, I guess in any part of the country. They're not facing hurricanes and tornadoes like a lot of the rest of the folks in the country are. His big issue there is heat, and they get plenty of it. So when your AC goes down in Phoenix, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I remember him talking about how hot, 120, something like that.
Last summer they had more heat than they'd had in a long time. It was hard. He couldn't get out to go shooting or anything.
We got someone new here, 193A4.
1903A4, yeah. And I saw our friend Rich B jumped in. Rich is working on possibly getting ready to start reloading. I've been talking with him quite a bit lately. He's sort of starting to get things lined up. I know his wife has been under the weather, and so he's had to pay attention to that. But and he's I think, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you purchase that new handgun, the 44? Did you get that one? He was talking about getting a new 44 mag revolver, and I think he got one coming. I think he's got it. It's either there or he's got it coming. So I told him, I says, hey, you know, as soon as you go out and try to buy a box of factory ammo for that, then you're going to get real excited about reloading.
Yeah, that's the only way I would want to shoot it. That probably even a 45 long coat I would want to reload.
Buck and a quarter, buck and a half a round doesn't take long to add up the price of a reloading press instead of dies.
I was actually a few days ago. I was looking at the 44 mag prices, and even in quantities, hundreds.
Yeah.
I went, whoa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's gnarly. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Rich says today, good deal, Rich.
Yeah.
We got James
Congrats.
Pollard out there. We got Eagle Run 23. So hello to you guys. And 1903 A4. What part of the country you in? 1903.
And nice
us
to meet
know.
you too.
Yes, sir.
1903 A4.
Brutal Bob is in here.
Good to see you, Bob.
Hey, there's Jamie, JH586.
Hey, Jamie. Tactical
Old
Fuzz
one
with
guy.
us. Old one guy. Good to
guy's
see you,
another
man.
one of our usual suspects. Good to see you.
Hey guys, you got the older guys tonight here on this panel.
Yeah. They knew I was going to be here, so I make everybody feel young. That's Doug Thomas.
I can guarantee you, Walter's more active than me.
1903 A4 is also in Arizona.
Oh,
Hope
okay.
you're up in the northern part of the state where it's a little cooler, up a little higher.
Mm-hmm. It's starting to cool here now. It was 80 something here in Georgia today, where I'm at.
Boomstick himself is here.
Mm-hmm. Good to see you, Boomstick. Doug Thomas. Yeah. Colt, Andy, old one guy. Let me scroll up here for a second.
Good crew out here already.
I got a pop out tonight, guys. Walter mentioned it, and I went in there and figured it out. I've never did a pop out on the other side. So, yeah, appreciate 351 Cleveland is with us.
Okay.
And he does fishing. He's up there near Lake Russell. I was up there last year too, and my daughter, and I went out on a boat with her daughter's husband's father.
Gotcha.
So I'd never been on a bass boat, believe it or not, in my life.
Really? Yeah.
Boy, he was flying too. It was fun. I seen his fish finder. I was able to see the 80-foot deep, 60. And we, you know what we were searching for, guys? We were searching for a Confederate grave on the bank of that river. I mean, lake, on the bank. And he found it years ago, and we couldn't locate it.
Huh.
One time it was some big farm. It was a story on that. But we couldn't find it that day. We looked and rode around, kept looking at the bank. I said, I can't see nothing.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard. As good as the new fish finders are, back in my scuba days when I was teaching scuba, a buddy of mine and I had a small company that involved bringing up boats, and we kind of specialized in the higher mountain lakes, and so altitude diving, for those of you who are divers, it's a little bit different program. And we had a proton magnetometer that would help us find stuff down there, and it worked pretty well. We drug it behind a small inflatable till we got some hits on it, and it worked better than the fish finder. We used fish finders too, but this was 20 some years ago, more than that, 30 something years ago. And the fish finders, the little hummingbirds and stuff that we had back then, they weren't much.
Yeah, this guy
magnetometer did work. Yeah,
this guy had like a $2,000 screen, an $800 screen.
Boy,
it was amazing. I'd heard of them, growing up. I used to fish Lake Lanier here in Georgia, and I'd camp out in a cove with a cabin tent, and sit there and fish till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for catfish on the bottom of the lake. And I did that a lot in the even early 70s, 74, 75 time frame.
Yeah. And I used to kind of giggle at the fishermen for the money they spent, and then I started thinking, you better keep your mouth shut, Viejo, because someone's going to come up and talk about how much reloading gear you've got. Money we spend on that stuff is just as bad. You get yourself into a hobby, and then it doesn't matter if it's a hobby. You're doing it for the art and the fun of it. So
Bama Dad says poppy seed, not rice. I would say that, but every time if I get on and start talking poppy seeds, they may flag me for drugs. How crazy YouTube is. But that's a good one, Bama Dad. Good to see you, Bob, down there. Brutal Bob. And then we got 2 Bobs, Brutal Bob and Bob. Masavo, is that how you pronounce that name? If I'm wrong, let me know, Bob.
Looks like Masavo.
Okay.
Jamie Size and Bullets 429215. Yeah, that's a nice bullet. 210 grain semi wad cutter. If I'm right, Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's something I got to get into eventually is casting. I went by the store here the other day, the tire store, and they have so much turnover. And the same guy was there, and he says, "I sold you a bucket of lead for $40. I had to have the money. You didn't come by." And I said, "What?" He said, "A guy come in and offered him, the whole thing full. Just said, I'll give you 40 here," and took it out. And I got to calculating what I know was in that bucket because I did it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'll give you 40 next time. I'll be back in a few weeks." He said, "Okay." So I'm not going to separate nothing. I'm just going to go in there and buy the whole bucket, load it on my truck, give him the money, and go buy.
Yeah,
And
send the zinc to Andy and get some
Mm-hmm.
tin back.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to drop your link, type 1776. I didn't put any about the giveaway tonight. Pound, I should have put it in. Hang on a minute.
Yeah. Hey, James Pollard. Good evening, sir.
See. I might put the wrong one up. Hang on a second. No, I don't have it written in that one either. Here, I'll edit it while we're talking. Let's see. If I don't misspell here.
Yeah, right.
I'm about blind. I'm getting more blind. I think they want me to go get glasses. It's been like 5 years, and I haven't did it. They sent me a thing like I think the first 12 months, and I said I'm not going in there and buying glasses every 12 months.
Yeah, I know they're hounding me, and mine are 4 years old. I really do need to get them redone. I'm starting to notice it. Bob Masava there was kind of exclaiming over $1 per round for 44 mag. These days, that's cheap because there's a lot of stuff that's out there at closer to $1.50 a round for a 44 mag with a 240 grain bullet in it. It is expensive, but if we got a good source for lead, we can make those things for 20 cents.
Bear with me, guys. I still got to edit this. Let's see. I don't want to edit the wrong banner. Save. If you see me turning my head, I'm looking around the camera. Guys, let's see. See if that does it. Pound Freedom 1776. Type in Pound Freedom 1776. We'll give away another. I've got all the patches sent out. Walter's got his just now. He showed me when we started.
I just got this from AR today. Just came in.
It's a morale patch. It's not much, but I'll get more stuff, guys, in time. I promise. I've got to get more stuff ordered, but at least give away one of these. I'll throw it in an envelope and send it to you.
Yep.
About halfway through the show, or 3/4, we'll do a drawing. So.
Yeah, and Bob, if you're reloading, even if you don't cast your own bullets, a 240 grain Hornady XTP bullet's about 35 cents or so. A dime for a primer, 45 cents through 4 cents worth of powder, and you're at better than half the cost of factory ammo. Saving 50 cents every time you pull a trigger doesn't take long.
Oh, I definitely, if I get that Ruger Vaquero 45 LC, I'm definitely going to have to do casting at that point.
Yeah, you get stuff with, and there's some really good Lee molds, and Lee molds, there's always some issues here and there with no matter what company you go from, but Lee molds are inexpensive and they work. You can get a 2-cavity Lee mold for $30 or so almost all day long, and a Lee 420 pot is less than $100 and you're off and running. If you got the lead, it doesn't take long to recover that. As far as the cost goes, you can amortize that out pretty quickly if you shoot frequently, and every mold that you add, every caliber, you add a 9mm mold, you add a 40 cal mold, add a 38 357 mold, you got 4 Lee molds for around $100, and $100 in that pot. If you're shooting all those calibers, bada bing, bada bang, you're going to get done quick. Andy, who needs lead? Yeah, zinc works. It does. There's a little bit of a technique that's a little different with loading zinc. You need a different kind of pot, and you got to run hotter. But if you got a good source for zinc, they're lighter bullets. The load data is minimal, if at all. But it's not hard to figure out. And I've got several molds that I use for zinc. I haven't shot much lately because I'm hoarding my zinc, because I think that California is not far off. I'm in California, guys. I think California's not far off from banning lead, even
Boy.
target shooting. It's already banned for hunting, and they would love to not let us shoot, lead ammo at all in this state. And if they do, we're going to have to go to zinc. So I've got 200 or 300 pounds of zinc stashed, and I've got a few rounds cast up here and there. I don't have a whole lot, stockpiled, but I got a pretty good stash of zinc that'll keep me going for a while. But and we like shooting zinc. You don't have to powder coat it. You just, all you got to do after it gets cast is get it sized.
Where do you get your powder coat, Walter?
I use 2 or 3 different companies. I like Eastwood, just for no particular reason. Well, one reason is you can get their powder in a half-pound jar. Most of the other companies ship it to you in a plastic bag of of at least a pound. Well, a pound of powder coat's enough to powder coat a gazillion bullets.
Wow.
And if you get a powder from somebody like Prismatic, or what's the other one that we use? Not Carolina. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, you get a coat that you don't like, it doesn't work well, or you don't like the color. Now you're stuck with a whole pound of it. You can get a half pound. That's better. And it's easier to deal with. The plastic bags of powder coats, you open them up and the powder goes poosh, gets all over your bench and whatnot. But so I like Eastwood, and they've got some good colors, and their powder is pretty reliable for the most part.
Got Quint Nelson with us. Good to see you, Quint. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Quint.
That's yes, new. Sir.
Welcome.
Always great to have new people in here. Absolutely. Excuse me, guys. Pollen's getting to me around here.
Yeah,
there goes my voice. I told Walter, I said, "Watch my voice go or start."
Well, I'll try to talk more.
I think me and you both talk too much.
What do they do about fishing weights? Well, so far I haven't heard anything about fishing weights, but they, they may go to zinc there too. I don't know. They just don't like lead. Doodle Bob says he's got an 8-gang mold for 50 grain 25 ACP last used in 2022. You drop an 8 at a time. It doesn't take long to have 500 bullets rounded up.
I went. As a matter of fact, the guy at the store says, "What are you going to do with that lead?" I said, "Make fishing sinkers."
Yeah. Toy Town says, "Where do you find scrap zinc?" It's wheel weights. Toy Town. Almost all states now, if you go to the tire shops and ask to get their used tire weights, a lot of them will give them to you, but you may have to buy them. But there'll be a mixture of lead, zinc, steel, and some even plastic. So you got to sort them. But these days there's lots of zinc mixed in with our tire weights, and they've still got a clip on them and whatnot. You got to melt them down and sort off the clips. But yeah, and it's good zinc. Ask Andy. It's good stuff.
Yeah, they call him the Zinc Master. I think he's the first one to start in this community, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Doing zinc?
Elvis Ammo years back kind of got started. I don't know who was first, but Andy has been the one that we know that has really promoted it and helped a lot of other guys, including yours truly, get started with it. In fact, Andy sent me a pot that had zinc in it, full of zinc. He said, "Here, go do this." and I did. I learned how to do it. And, having been a lead caster already, wasn't too much of a learning curve. But Andy is almost, I would say 100% zinc, if I'm not wrong, Andy. I haven't heard of you doing anything with lead in a long time. So he's shooting zinc out of his rifles and handguns and everything. So,
they're lighter, right, Walter? They have a lighter weight. Zinc is.
Zinc weighs about 60% of what lead would weigh. So if you cast a 240 grain lead bullet, it's going to weigh 60% of that in zinc. So you got to adjust your powder charges accordingly, and your guy needs to go out and test them and start, at what he thinks is going to be reasonable, because you're not going to find zinc loads in your manuals anywhere. But Andy's a good source and always willing to help. And he says he hadn't cast a lead bullet in almost 3 years, and he's set up. He knows how to do it.
We haven't heard from Elvis
in years. I don't know what he's up to. He threw in a towel there.
I think last year he was driving a truck and he actually jumped in Uncle Jim's show. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
Do
He
you?
came on for a few minutes. I think Uncle Jim kind of called him out and said, "Hey, where are you?" And he did, and he jumped in.
Yeah.
But that was the last we'd heard from him. I used to keep up with him pretty well. We were friends over there on Facebook, but he gave up on Facebook, and so did I at about the same time. I haven't been over there in a long time. But I think he just got fed up with all of the BS that we're facing in social media with our hobby. And said, "That's it, I'm done," which is too bad because he had a great channel. He was just so fun to listen to and watch. You know, he had a lot of fun with what he was doing, and he helped a lot of folks out. He was early on the scene with powder coating too.
I used to watch him quite a bit years ago too. Georgia, I was watching Georgia Shooting Connection. Then I'd see him, watch him, and Fortune Cookie. And, I didn't discover you until High Boy. That's when I started noticing you. And then
Fortune Cookie and I grew up in the same area. I still keep in contact with him, talk to him on the phone once in a while. He's a lot more of a shooter than I ever was. But
I remember High Boy's Hornady presses in the early days before he really had a developed channel.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When he started all of a sudden getting brand new boxes of Hornady stuff, and he'd have it. Then all of a sudden that kind of vanished out, and all of a sudden Redding came in.
At one point, I had bought a Hornady progressive press and the lock and load AP, and that was a long time ago. I won't say it was in the beginning of YouTube, but it wasn't far after. And I was kind of looking around trying to. I can't even remember what the problem was. I don't have that press anymore. I dumped it, but I found High Boy's channel that way. That's how I found High Boy the first time. Because he had a whole series on that lock and load AP press, and he did a great job. If you watch High Boy's channel, you know how he does it. He does a small piece at a time. I mean, it's so it would be like, well, here's how we bolt down the press. Done. That's it for that session. Here's how we attach the lever arm. Done. That was it. And that, I appreciated that because it was not overwhelming. You could do it one bit at a time and follow along, play that piece over and over and over again if necessary. But yeah, he did a good job. 67 Rebels here.
Who says you can't learn anything on YouTube? Yes, you can. If you're really good at visual, see and do. A few months ago, last year, when I got my motor down there in the shop, the guy was a machinist. He's in his 60s. First thing he tells me and brother, boy, things are different now. All them people on YouTube, they think they know it all now. They learn, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh boy," I didn't even say a word that I'm on YouTube. He said, "Now you got YouTube. They become experts on these motors." And I go, "Okay." You do learn a lot on YouTube, though. I've learned sheetrock, reloading. I used to watch High Boy. I'd watch him. I could sit and watch reloading. He'd do the short videos like Walter's talking about. He'd do a little short one, and boom, that gun come out, and then he'd do another short one, and I'd watch that all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, and just today, in fact, I've got a Savage B17. It's a bolt action 17 HMR rifle, and I hadn't shot that thing for 2 or 3 years, and I'm getting ready to do musical scopes with the rifles that I do have. I got a couple of those new Monstrums, and I tried one on my 22 mag, and I'm going to put a different one on that, and that one's going to go on to a different rifle. But anyway, so I had to drag the 17 HMR out, and then I remembered why I hadn't shot it, and there's an issue with that rifle with the bolt that needs a fix. It needs a little mod. And I knew that I had seen it before on YouTube, and I couldn't remember how the fix went. So I was, YouTubing that up today, and I found the same guy that I'd seen 3 or 4 years ago that showed how to get that fix done. It's easy enough, but I just wasn't sure. So yeah, you can, there's so much out there now.
Yeah, I remember in my early days of seeing High Boy. I've seen a lot of others, and some that didn't even really know. To me, they knew about 80%, maybe 60% of reloading. But when I seen High Boy and I watched him and listened to him, I said, he knows what he's talking about. So that was it. Watch him.
Well,
and then
he's mechanically minded, and he kind of knows how people are gonna work with the tools that they have, and he knows that
Mm-hmm.
not everybody is a machinist and not going to have all of this stuff. Yeah, 67 Rebel says wishing Johnny's reloading bench would come back. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I liked his channel too.
Yeah.
And I liked him even more. Remember when he had the pigs? When he got those pigs a couple years ago, he brought in, I don't know, 4 or 5 pigs that he
Huh.
put in. He had like a separate channel. It's like Johnny's Reloading Bench Outdoors or something. I don't know. He had
I think I
another
heard about
channel
that.
that he was doing, and he had chickens, and he was doing all his critter stuff, and that was kind of fun to watch that too. But yeah,
I'm kind of doing something different on my screen tonight. So if I seem like I don't know what I'm doing, that's because I don't know what I'm doing. I got it, but I can't. Camera's in front of almost Walter. At least I can see him now. Usually he's covered up. So I got that kind of straightened out.
Andy 79Z28. Yeah, he's absolutely right. And you got to kind of pay attention to what folks are saying.
Yep.
And it's good to go into a YouTube video with a little bit of know-how or background knowledge or something, because there's a lot of junk out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't learn from the wrong people for sure.
Yeah.
And, you don't hear me a lot saying safety glasses, and I probably should, especially for newbies, but I wear glasses typically sometimes when I'm reloading, so I don't say nothing. I kind of grew up in the era where you shot guns without ear protection and you didn't wear no glasses. And I'm still kind of that way. Like if I go to the range, I get annoyed I got muffs where you can actually amplify the sound, and it'll be there in the way, my cheek. And I tell my son one time, I said, doggone it, rip that thing aside and went bang, bang. I said, can't stand it. But I have to get used to it. I just grew up without that stuff. We didn't do much safety stuff in my generation. We lived dangerously. And
I pretty much always wore glasses from the 5th grade, and they used to be all glass lenses until I don't know, dropped my first set that got stomped on by one of the horses or something, and then we went to plastic after that, and they get scratched up. But so I've always got glasses on when I'm loading and shooting, so it's not an issue. The hearing thing, I'm kind of where you were when I was a kid. We didn't wear hearing protection. We're down there shooting 38s and the 22s and all that stuff. Not real loud anyway, but or the 410s. But I do now.
AR was born before safety. Yeah, things were just a lot different in those days. As a kid, we're talking 4 or 5 years old. My father shot. There was no safety glasses. There were no hearing aids in those days. You never seen it, and I've seen a lot of people shoot. It's very rare. Now maybe police force maybe have police law enforcement and all that maybe back then, but I don't remember seeing adults shoot with that stuff.
Well, and back then, before the internet, you weren't aware of things that happened to other people.
True.
It was out of sight, out of mind. You didn't know anybody that had a gun blew up or got powder ran back through the gas tube or something, got in your face, and so you didn't hear about it, so you didn't think about it as being a problem. Now, every little thing that goes wrong, that goes south on a shooter, we see it and we go, oh yeah, man, I don't want that happening to me. And
I know I got a great grandson. I've took him camping before, deer camp, and a few years ago, I think it was around the bicycle, and he had the helmet on. I looked at my daughter and I said, "Here we are with helmets now." And I said, "It's something I didn't do when I learned a bicycle. I was rough. I used to do all kinds of crazy acrobatics with bicycles. I was wild on them things."
Oh, we did that too. You had your little short 2-wheeler with the banana seats, and we'd build ramps and go flying with those things. Stuff.
Me too.
End up in the dirt or on the concrete or something, and no helmets, no gloves, wearing shorts and flip flops probably most of the time. Still here, most of me.
That gives me an idea of a good question for the side chat and Walter. Who, when they were young, learned to ride a bicycle backwards, sitting on the handlebars? Let me know in the side chat. Do a thumbs up or a yay.
Yeah, you weren't cool if you couldn't sit on that handlebar and pedal backwards.
I used to go down hills.
Kind of always went like this a little bit. No, I didn't go down any hills. We were on flat ground. But
about 3 years ago, my great grandson was here, and I think he had a bike here. And I actually went out on the road and got on it and did it. I said, it's something once you learn, you just keep doing it. And my daughter said, "You can still do that?" And I go, "Yeah." And
Drank
so
from a hose, Andy says. Yeah. Back then, our little trick bikes, they were what we called a Stingray bike. I don't know what, if there even the similar thing is out there now, but and you had pegs coming off the rear axle so you could stand back there on that rear axle and bring the bike up, and you could pull a wheelie and then jump back on those pegs and get it up to a unicycle point. You didn't have your feet on the pedals at that point, but you'd coast as far as you could go without falling over backwards or something. We had all kinds of goofy stuff.
You brought a memory up, Walter, about the banana seats. When I was 8 years old, I wanted that bad. I wound up, they had I think dragster, slickster or something. It had a tire was kind of slick and it had a banana seat and, the high handlebars. And I wound up getting the Tiger type. Had even Tiger handles on it, but it was a banana seat. And my uncle said he would get it for me, and he did. And I did all kinds of acrobats with that thing. I'd go down and jump over big giant creeks with leaves or dump like a dump pile. You'd have a bunch of leaves at certain times of year, and I just wham and land right down in it. I was like Evel Knievel at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, do safety, guys. In learning reloaded, wear your glasses and your ear protection.
There is a lot that can go wrong with reloading. Stuff's always popping out of the press, and possible to have a primer detonation. I've never had one, but stuff, if you're doing trimming, brass chips, can get to flying around. It's just a lot of stuff. There's no good reason not to use safety glasses. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm forever doing something, trying to make probably some piece of Lee gear work right. So I'm over at the drill press, and you gotta have your glasses on, I think.
Yep. T-shirts and tennis shoes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's bad. You can always tell there's a bunch of old guys around when we start talking about the old days. First thing we do is remember when and what meds are you on?
Oh boy. Yeah, here we go. But good to see you, C&T.
Yes,
my dad. Who else is in there? Masavo, he did a thumbs up on that. Yeah, I'll start mentioning safety glasses when I do dummy around tutorials.
TGW Outdoors jumped in. Hey, Joe, good to see you, man. Haven't heard from you lately.
I haven't seen him lately. Good to see you. Where you been? He was always with me, typically. Good to see you, GGW. Used to be GGW reloading. One time I typed reloading. I said, I forgot. It's outdoors now. And that's the reason I don't have guns. Even though I got guns, guns is not my main title, but I still go by AR Guns, believe it or not. That's because of the gun thing in the algorithm of YouTube. This is why I did this, just an explanation. And went ahead and just said, hey, and I was going to do AR 1776, but somebody already got that on YouTube. So okay. Oh. And next, guess what I'm going to do? It's just going to be one thing because a lot of people know me now. It's going to be AR. That's it.
Period. Yeah.
So I'll relabel it, change it. So appreciate all you guys being here tonight. Good to have Walter on. Like I said, I used to watch him a lot with Highboy back then, and that's how when I first seen Echo years ago too. Echo would be on occasionally and talk, and I got into streaming. Basically, I told the story before, but I bought a camera at Sam's Club. But it's still here. I hate that camera too, and I brought it home, and I would hear Jamie in Georgia, say, AR, get you on the show sometime. I go, not me, no way. I'm thinking, no way. So I go by the camera and I'm thinking, I'm going to end up doing this if I'm not careful. But I never did get comfortable to do it. And one evening I'm listening to Echo's live stream, and I think it was when his first few streams. And for some dumb reason, I jumped in there because he was such a talker. And I'm typically drawn to people like that. And that was it. We started streaming together. And Echo, I miss him. And one thing good about Echo, I could do anything, take his show, a little bit of direction or whatever. And when he got off, I said, it's okay what I did. And he says, always. He did not worry. And he did stress about some things. He never worried about me, how I took the show or, how I handled it. And he was easy to deal with, believe it or not.
Yeah. He was always a pretty easygoing guy. I first ran into him on Highboy's channel also. That's where I first met up with Echo.
And I don't talk as much streaming But Echo, one day I was on the phone with Echo, a little short story here, and he's talking to Nicole, which is his wife of 17 years. And he said, "You don't think this guy talks? Listen." I said, "Hey, wait a minute, man. What are you saying?" You know. And but hey, I've always did jobs where you talked a lot, and when you retire, I tell my daughter, son, I sit around the house sometime. I don't see nobody for weeks. If I stay home, say a week or two, I don't see nobody. And so I end up streaming now, and I know most of you guys, at least, over the years in the side chat and stuff, and it feels like I know some of you personally, because I know a little bit about your history. And some of you I talked to. I talked to Mac. I've called Uncle Jim, Jamie, and I've texted Walter, and a few others I've talked to. And
yeah, it's kind of fun, with the advent of the internet, which guys like AR and I didn't grow up with, that we can become acquainted with people all across the country. And 40 years ago, when you hear on the news, oh, there was a tornado in Oklahoma, it was like, yeah. And well, now, hey, I know guys in Oklahoma. I know Daniel Arms, and I know Chad Kelly, and the folks that are living in Oklahoma that are living through this stuff, and it kind of brings everybody closer together than we would have ever been before. And I feel like I've made hundreds of new friends, as a result of just this YouTube, firearm, reloading, casting, community that has kind of sprung up in the last, X number of years. Has been pretty good for me. Hey, we got Big Al out there.
Hey, Big Al. It's been a while since I've seen him. Good to see you, Big Al. I'm sitting here setting up the giveaway tool, trying to get it prepared for it. Yeah, this is three windows I've got. This is the most I've ever did in a show. Bear with me. I'm not a rookie in streaming, but I'm a rookie at messing with all this software like this, at least at one time.
Yeah. And, CNT Designs. Gaming's one thing I never got into online, just because I'm more of an outdoor sort of person. If I'm going to sit still, it's probably going to be at the reloading bench. And I've never been able to. I have an attention problem. I've got the attention span of a Cocker Spaniel puppy or something, so I can't sit there and in a chair. I can't even read a book. I have to listen to audio books when I'm out doing my morning walks. I can't sit and read. I just can't do it. My mind wanders off into outer space someplace. So I never could get into the video games. I kind of wish I could, because they always, especially the ones that are out there today, man, they just look awesome.
Yeah, it's like being there.
They're amazing.
Mm-hmm. I used to have the PlayStation 3 for a while. Believe it or not, I had Battlefield. I got killed all the time because I didn't grow up in that. And I had Battlefield 4 for the PlayStation 4. I got rid of it, and I still got the game back there. I got killed in it all the time. I was better at a sniper, but I still got killed. So I was getting shot left and right doing gaming. But it was fun. I could see why everybody loved it with high def and all that. So.
Cool. Yeah. Hey, we got G23 and Vanessa Kitty have jumped in there.
Good to see you, Vanessa. G. Good to see G and all you guys. GGW, I hadn't seen in a while. I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking that this evening was Uncle John. He used to be in all my streams. I haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't heard from him on any of the streams either.
We go through spurts. Like I went through the spurt of this car not streaming, and Mac would occasionally, like I said, Mac would call, "You need to stream." I go, "Okay." Sometimes I say, "Okay," and I wouldn't.
Yeah. It's easy to get disappointed with YouTube these days, especially if you're a creator. I've been in and out of jail, and as a number of the other guys have, and lost the channel, and it's just it gets to be disappointing that we're facing that kind of bias, especially from a company who claims that they're out there for the citizen and protecting their rights and stuff. Yeah, well, not protecting mine. Not my free speech rights anyway. But anyway,
okay, there we go.
Yeah, there's Vanessa. She's a gamer.
Well, she was the first. I've told this story. Some of you know it. I was on with this Logitech. I think it's 2922. I think I gave 50 something bucks for it. I was doing a test stream, and she says I was here listening. So she was the first person to know that I was streaming. That at least commented.
Oh, cool.
Long time ago. It's hard to believe. I think I can't remember when I started streaming this, but close to 3 years. It has to be. And I don't know if it's because of COVID or just because I bought the camera. Probably because I bought the camera. And then when I seen heard Echo, and then I jumped in on him, and I had no plan to do a show with him. I mean, when I started talking to him, it just kind of worked out that way.
Quentin Nelson has joined us.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you, Quint. Yeah, I love it when these new people come in. It's cool. Tonight's not a tutorial. It's just kind of a chat with me and Walter. So, my name's Elliot, guys. Used to, I wouldn't say that a long time ago. I think CW one time called me Elliot, and I think I said something about, don't call me that in a comment.
Yeah.
But, hey, what does it matter? I don't really worry about it anymore.
I don't either, Molon Live, come take them.
GGW says
best man.
he still has a duck hunt and on old TV. Okay, cool.
On an old TV, yeah.
Well, my stream got taken down a few weeks ago.
I remember that. Yeah, and that wasn't for any good reason either. It just
no. It's and they ruled against me. I did a thing, and Hasbro was pointing his finger. That's all, and I could tell he wasn't touching it. But I did an appeal, and they denied it. And they don't give. Apparently, they're trying now. They got a new thing. I don't know if you all heard. They try to. We know you people do not do some of these things intentionally. If you'll watch a video on YouTube, you'll hear them talk about it. So we want to tell you not to before we do a strike, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So that's a good thing. That part. At least they're giving you kind of like a verbal warning, and basically a type warning and email warning.
You only do that once. You get one warning, and that warning lives on your channel forever. It never goes away. And the next time you get a strike. So I'd gotten on my current channel, I had two strikes.
Wow.
That didn't get overturned. They finally, after 90 days, if you're a good boy, they evaporate and you can start all over again. Your third strike, you're out though.
Yeah.
And just in the last month and a half or so, I've gotten 3 more strikes.
Oh wow!
But they were all reversed because their AI or however it is they're watching my channel saw something that they thought was wrong and it wasn't. And you appeal, and sometimes it takes them a day or 2 or something to come back and say, well, okay, you're right, we were wrong. And they take the strike away and reinstate the video, because they take the video offline too when they do that.
Check that out. G23 was banned from Facebook for life until they got pulled in front of Congress. Wow. What'd you do, G? Yeah, Hasbro was just pointing. Hasbro did send me a thing. I got these one day in the mail. Some of you know about this.
Yeah, pointers.
I didn't know who did it at first. I says, I come in and I opened my Amazon account. I looked at it and I says, well, where the crap? I didn't order these. And then it just dawned on me after I says, Hasbro. And it's a little pointer, and I won't. You all see. I got all colors too, a whole box of them. I should give these away, but they probably break in the mail. But it didn't bother. It didn't
you got
bother
put
me.
in YouTube timeout for quoting a Bible verse. And I see,
Wow.
they're just off the wall on how they monitor our video stuff, and stuff that's not against the rules. All of a sudden, it's against the rules for me when it's not for anybody else, and it's so they're out there doing selective enforcement of their rules, which I can't abide. I don't like that, and that's why I'm doing so much more over on my Rumble channel. It's pretty active over there. It's not huge yet, but there's a lot of folks are starting to think more about that. So that's why all my casting and reloading stuff, I won't do any of that on YouTube anymore. I'm too tight under their radar.
Right. Actually, I think I uploaded a video, Walter, the other day.
You did.
I think. Yeah.
Yep, you did. I saw it.
I don't even remember what video I uploaded, to be honest with you.
It might have been one with the dog. I think that might have been it. I remember I just saw it the other day.
Yeah,
Yep.
my old Apollo. Yeah, the old
Yep.
big guy. Yeah,
Yep.
13-year-old chocolate lab, half English. Boy, I miss that boy. He was something else.
Yeah,
I know.
Dad. Yeah, Bible verse, hate speech. You can't get
Mm-hmm.
any less hate speech than a Bible
Mm-hmm.
verse. And then, yeah, I know it's just goofy. It is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
we got to be thankful for what we do get from
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and we got to understand that their rules are going to continue to evolve and get worse and worse and worse for us until finally, you know, I'm about that close to only using YouTube as a billboard to say, hey, I got this up on Rumble today. Go check it out, and not put anything else on YouTube, because we reach so many more people through YouTube, you know. And if you do enough with your titling and your description and hashtags and all that kind of stuff, people will find it. And but Rumble, we can still do pretty much what we want to do over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna start using it more. I am. I used to have Mac did too. Everything I did would just automatically go over there. I had it connected. Around
Yeah,
December, first of the year, all of a sudden it stopped. I think my last video was brass punches. My
yeah,
lives used to go over there too at one
they're
time.
changing their system rapidly and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. I know you can live stream over there now too. I haven't tried that, but
I heard something about that. I may try it, give it a shot. A long time ago, I actually paid $10 and could not live stream at Rumble, and I
hmm
requested a refund. They didn't say nothing. They gave me the 10 back, and I haven't been back on the live. I'll check that out though
yeah, I don't know
sometime.
how it works yet either. I guess I ought to give it a try just for the heck of it. Yeah,
But
Vanessa says make the internet a public utility that must follow our constitution. Yeah,
I've thought of that. Then you start wanting regulation, but the way things are, I hate to say it, we probably need a little regulation or something to stop these platforms. So
yeah,
I'm torn. In other words, I'm not
yeah,
for regulation, but yeah, it might give us a little more freedom. So it's something to think about.
yeah. There's such a big machine though right now between Google, YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
everything else that Google controls. It's just huge.
Andy says what? I moved all my zinc stuff to Rumble. Yep.
Yeah,
I actually moved one of the screens over here. Now I can actually highlight and see you guys. I had it kind of reversed. So appreciate all you guys coming tonight. We'll ask some things. I'm gonna ask a few things here. We'll go over, and it's for you all in the side chat too now, so you all can answer. Just type it in. What if you had a press, even if you don't reload? What would be your dream press
a dream press. I
out of
don't know.
all of them?
You know, there's it, to answer that question is going to be different for everybody based on their
Mm-hmm.
shooting requirements. For me, I'm a paper puncher. I'm not hunting anymore, so I don't need a press. And I'm not a bench rest shooter, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that. What I need is something that I can make reliable ammo that is going to shoot as accurately as I can shoot it, and not necessarily in high volumes. And I've got 3 presses that I use to fill those jobs, and I can't foresee needing anything else other than what I've got. And the 3
Mm-hmm.
presses that I use are my Lee 4-hole classic turret press. For the money, that's one of the best presses ever made for making plinking
Yeah.
ammo, and you can make higher quality ammo too if you know how to use that press. A couple of things you got to know about, and you can make really precise ammo with that press. And I use my Redding T7 and I use my Dillon 550. Those are the 3 presses that have worked the best for me, and I use all of them. Of the one that I probably use the most, believe it or not, is that little Lee 4-hole classic turret press. That thing is so reliable, and it's
Mm-hmm.
reliable because it's simple. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole system is it's just simple, and it just works. It's a really easy press to use. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm making just a few rounds and I really want to kind of control things a little bit tighter, maybe I bring out the T7. I do like that press. Um, and there's only actually 3 different cartridges and 3 loads for 3 different calibers is what I'm saying that I use my 550C Dillon for. There's a 9mm load that I shoot tons of. There's a 40 Smith & Wesson that I shoot tons of. In fact, it's those bullets that I'm sending you. At least I sent you a couple different ones, but one of those
Oh, I
that I
appreciate
shoot
that.
a lot of, and I load those over there just because I'm going to load 200-300 at a time at least. And then I've got a 45 ACP round that I load on that 550. But if I'm going to go shoot tomorrow, I'm going to the range. I only want 50 rounds of 44 special. It's going on that Lee Classic turret press. So
Vanessa's got something there.
yeah, there isn't anything else out there that I want right now. I could dream about having, some of those big, gigantic, like, turrets, but I wouldn't use one. It'd sit there. So I don't dream about those. I've got the presses that I want right now. I thought Lee's new 6-hole, they call it the ultimate turret press. I thought that might be better than the 4-hole classic, but at this point it's not, boys. You don't want that press yet.
It looks like it would be better. Definitely. I like it too.
The idea is good, but in practice, it's got some serious issues that need to be overcome first. Yeah. The fact that it operates like the 4-hole turret. Okay, it's a rotating turret, but it's got 3, 4, 5, or 6 holes in the turrets in different configurations. So a guy can set up with 6 holes in a breech lock system, and that's great. But the way they've got it put together is not working right. I was on the phone with an hour and a half today with Treetop Flyer, because he's another one that's been working with that press for a while. He's having some nasty issues with his too, and we're just going, what is up with Lee shipping something out in that condition? Is it's not ready to go? But the idea is good, and if they can get that thing perfected, that'd be a great press too. 6 holes on a turret press, can control each station. You can run it as a single stage if you want, just like you can with the 4-hole turret. Got a lot of good stuff going, a lot of good ideas. They just the way they got it shipped out, it wasn't ready, I don't think, anyway. So there's that. So yeah, no dream press for me. I got the ones that I need. I'm good there.
I've got 5 now, which I must be out of my mind. I got the Forester because I was doing 308. I don't have the gun now, which I'm going to get me another 308 to hunt with, and I'm going to get me a 308 precision rifle in time. So I got the Forester. That's the only time I use it. I do load 2 to 3 on it occasionally here. I've got the Big Boss, which I hardly use. The T7 I use mostly. I got the 650 I hardly use. But I was saying this a few weeks ago. I like the process of the Classic, that it's automated and you're only working with 1 round. Is it a better press? I said, not necessarily, but I like the process of it. Here it is, guys.
There it is. Look at that. Brand new.
I don't know if it's got a defect because I haven't had the handle on it and I haven't mounted it yet because it come on right when me and Viejo got on the backside. They knocked on my door straight from Amazon.
I like that little press, and you can make precision ammo out of it with it. And as we're saying, it's real simple. You get to monitor each operation because you're only doing 1 operation at a time, even though it's 4 holes. It's not like with a progressive press where you've got to watch 4 or 5 or 6 things going on simultaneously. With that press, you only got to watch 1 thing happening at a time. And so, and that makes it a little slower than a progressive, but still, it's 4 cranks per round. So not a high volume press, but it's relaxing. It runs. It never fails. I had one early on, and then I bought a Dillon 750.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I sold that Lee turret press, which I'd had for a number of years. And then about 2 months later, I said, "You moron! You shouldn't have ever." That thing filled a niche that I needed, so I bought another one. And so I've still got one, but yeah, I sold that 750 too. Peterson Farms, hey.
Sorry to interrupt you, Walter. I messed up on the collection of the. I apologize, guys. I messed up on the typo tonight on the giveaway collecting the things. Hang on with. That's what I get for trying to work in the dark when I already can't see. All right. if you guys will, go ahead and start entering it again. I apologize. Type in freedom, pound freedom 1776. I apologize. I can't believe I did that. I'm glad I looked. We'd sit here through the whole show. Let's see.
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about 40 Smith and Wesson tonight. We never got there, but that's okay. You know, we had got a lot of other things out from under the table.
Let's see. I've lost my stream there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was going to talk 40 some. I was hoping this press would come in, and it came on just a few minutes before the show started. They knocked on my door, and they wouldn't take. Usually, they'll just take my phone number. They'll say, "What's your last?" No, they wanted a password, and luckily I had it copied in my phone. Yeah, password. I'm having trouble now getting a refund on a remote, Sony remote, and I finally found a sticker that UPS. Apparently, they never got it. UPS left out of my house, coming to my door, picked it up, and Amazon does not have it. But I got the receipt now. I found it tonight. So yeah, it's 140 something bucks they owe me.
When you get that press mounted up, we'll have to give the 40 Smith and Wesson another shot.
Yeah, I love the process. I like that it's automated like that. It's just kind of cool. And I like the T7, but you do have to grab it and yank it and twist that head. And I can't afford T7 heads. I mean, things I haven't looked lately, but they're pretty expensive. And I can afford the Lee heads. They're 12 something on Midway and 18, I think, on Amazon. And that's another thing. Uncle Jim does it. What I'm going to do is set up one head for 9mm, one head for 40, and then one head for 223. And then when I get the Colt 45 Colt, which I'm going to get that Vaquero, I've had 2 chances to get a stainless steel Vaquero. The last one was that 5.5 inch barrel. I wanted that gun so bad. Every day I dreamed of it, thought about it, and I almost went with a credit card and bought it. And I said, no, can't do it.
Yeah.
And but hopefully this press will be good.
Yeah, that's another nice thing about that press is the turrets are just dog cheap. They're like 11, 12 bucks, and so it's it's a no brainer to get your set of dies and set up a head for each caliber. That's at least the ones that you use a lot of. Simple.
Creedmoor Sports has a head for the T7, an upgrade head, and they also got some little kind of like bearing system. You can upgrade your T7, makes it smoother supposedly. And their head, I was actually thinking about buying one of their heads. Have you seen that, Walter? The Creedmoor's new heads. Creedmoor, they're in Alabama.
Oh yeah. I have seen them.
Yep. They look nice. I don't know any advantage. Maybe the little, whatever it is, like almost like a little Teflon plastic thing. It glides on. You put on the head and do upgrades to it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, I just took my T7 apart this morning. It needed some love. Took it apart and cleaned everything off. Cleaned off all the moving pieces and relubed it and put it back together. And feels better now.
Buddha Bob says the Mark 7 Apex. That's what I was talking about today in the coffee stream.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about would be one of my dream presses. At this point, it was the RL11, but I can do more with the was it Apex 10? Yeah. And
is Lyman, is that a Lyman product now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last I seen, yeah.
As I recall, they started off on their own, and then Lyman bought them up or something like that. I can't remember how that happened, but. Okay,
Bama Dad, he's got the bearing set up. It's smooth from Creedmoor. Cool. I was thinking about getting that too, you all. And
I've been looking at that. I remember now that you mention it when they first started marketing that, and I couldn't really see it because I've only got the one turret for my T7, and so far that's worked out okay for me.
Let me check that giveaway tool. Hang on, guys. I can move it. Now, got 6 entries. Come on. I hate to ask you guys to do it again. Pound Freedom 1776. I only got 6. Yeah, okay. I apologize for that. It was I had the @ symbol. Idiot me.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't have see here.
Freedom 1776.
What it is, I don't do bright lights right here because it bothers me during the show, so I leave the light off of it. But then I can't have type.
Yeah.
So 7 people.
I've got a
now.
light that's right up here too, and that's primarily why I wear a build cap, because if I don't have that, it's right in my eyes.
That's a good idea. I used to occasionally, you all remember this, I used to do quite a bit, my signed, sealed, delivered, Stevie Wonder. I actually, you know why I did these? And I've said it a few times. There's a guy up there that has like 1 million followers in New York. He had a big channel, influencer years ago. He wore these because when he's looking at his camera talking to people, you can't tell where his eyes are at. Don't look weird.
Oh,
Because if you're really close to the camera and you're talking to people and you're looking everywhere, it's distracting.
yeah, I
So
got
that
you.
kind of it hides your eyes. That's why I did it. So, and it helped me out with the light too when I had it on here. Yeah, appreciate you guys entering that again. Blues Brothers. Yep, Colt.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
I used to wear something like this back in the 90s occasionally.
Yeah. Good call, Colt.
Good to see you all. Brutal Bob, Quint, Yukon 454 is with us. Thank
Oh,
you for
there's
dropping
Yukon.
by.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
He's been on the Georgia chat, or maybe
Okay.
Hillbilly. I know I mentioned to him once before that I'd ridden up his way on the motorcycle a few years ago.
We got Peterson Farms. I was a little late calling you out. Peterson Farms from Nashville is here, and that's not Tennessee. I think I'm correct. Yeah, he's got a good channel. Check him out, guys. Good people. And he has a lot of tractors. Does deer hunting too. I hadn't been over in a while, but I'll try to get over there and check some of his stuff out.
I'm laughing at C&T Design. Says, yeah, you know, wearing your shades keeps you from getting busted by the wife when you're looking at other
That's
women.
true. Hey, I still wear shades out when I go out in public, man. Especially if when I go up to the car show. When I get my car, I'm gonna go up to Pigeon Forge. I'm gonna have sunglasses on all day. I hope I don't fall over something when I'm walking, but just kidding, guys. Somewhat. But yeah, good to see you guys. Some of you I don't know, but it's nice to meet you. Appreciate you coming in here. Means a lot to us, guys. Had 27 on, 26 now. Yeah,
good.
type in Peterson's Farms, type in 1776, and it'll drop your link. You guys check him out. It's got good stuff. Him, Viejo's got good stuff. Who else? C&T does political, watches 2A stuff, and I guess that would be political, yeah. And I've jumped on C&Ts. I actually enjoyed jumping in there a few times and sitting there for a little bit, talking that, watching. So I enjoy that. He's from Alabama. Believe it or not, that's where most of my relatives are. Come from originally. Of course, we're all over the South. My family is Virginia, Tennessee, Texas. And my grandmother's side, we were here in the 1500s.
Wow.
Believe it or not, we first came here in the 1500s. Mm-hmm.
You got lost, huh?
Boy, we come from grandmother's side. Come from Durham, England. On my grandmother's side. I had to look that up one time. C&T says, love and having, I enjoy it, C&T. Even though I don't want to talk politics a lot, C&T, he's into that stuff, and he's real knowledgeable, too, on the current stuff. I don't follow I do read occasional 2A stuff, but I'm not up to date on most of it. When I see a bad bill, I say something. I grumble, but I don't usually, talk about it. Sometimes I'll mention it in a live stream occasionally a little bit, keep not to go political. Colt says, I love political stuff. Follow it very close. I used to a lot. I was a big political junkie. I used to love world events. I used to read the Wall Street Journal every morning when I was in my 20s, where I worked. And I just liked world events. It was good stuff for me. But yeah, appreciate you guys up. Let's see how many we got for the giveaway. And guys, in time, I apologize. I've only got a simple patch, but I will get more. It's a 1776 patch. Let me tap on it and it'll focus. It should. There you go. It's a morale patch. I'll ship it to you when we do the drawing. Got 14 in. How many we got on? 20 something? Okay, I'll give it a little bit more time. What time is it, 9? Okay, we've been on an hour. I try to keep my shows about an hour and a half, no more than that. Me and Echo used to do like 2 hours. And 2 hours and a half sometimes. But I typically try to end them in an hour and a half at least. So 14. And like I said, I apologize for that. I should be typing better. But great having you on too, Viejo.
Hey, there's Mark Strapping and Outdoors. Hey, Mark.
I appreciate the support. Yeah, hey, Mark. How's it going, man? Check his channel out. Mark, type in 1776 and drop your link. Any of you guys not sub to him? He's got good stuff. I hadn't been over to his channel in a while. I try to get to these guys sometimes, either comments or catch their live streams.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Quentin Nelson, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, God bless America. Hmm. Let's see. He'll tell us in a minute when the lad gets out. Bama Dad, my grandmother was a Porch Creek Indian. Patch. Oh, all right. Pat. I can't read it. This morning I'm going to have to end up. Let's see. Porch. Yeah, is that right? Porch Creek Indian. We've been here for a while. Yeah, my ex-wife was half Cherokee, and she looked it, and her mother did too. Now, her mother, she had a face. I don't know why. My ex-wife had a face when I was 30 years old. Looked like she'd been out in the sun 100 years. I figured she was Indian. She passed away here a while back. I forget, 2014 or something like that. I don't keep up with my ex anymore, but I actually ran across a obituary of her. Hey, I'm Gabriel. Good to see you, man. Thank you for dropping in. Mark's Trapping. Got a good crowd. 26, 27 in here. Appreciate it. And appreciate you being here, Walter. Did a lot.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun tonight. Oh, thanks, Quint. Yeah, good to know.
Well, before I stopped streaming, you asked one time to send you some links, and I was going to. Then I started not streaming, and I occasionally put it up, and I kind of forgot about it. But I always remembered you said something like one time, send links. And sometimes I forget, believe it or not. Like I'll think Matt can get in because he's co-host, and I have to send him a link.
Right.
You forget StreamYard if you don't use it regularly. At least I do, occasionally. Let's see how many we got entered here now. 14. It's getting up there. We're going to wind this down here shortly, guys. So I'll give you a few more minutes. Brutal Bob says, Viejo, thank you for joining AR tonight. I always like listening to your knowledge and opinions.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Bob. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that you appreciate that.
Yeah, Walter's he's like Andy. He's been doing this stuff for years. I've only been at 10 years reloading, so it's not that long. And I enjoy it. It's cool. And I've been thinking lately, are we prepared? We need to start buying primers and bullets right now, because I think there's a powder shortages coming. They're going to quit manufacturing. I heard.
Yeah, it sounds like Alliant is maybe the first one that's kind of. Our friend Gene over at Reloading from the Hot Pot, who works for Republic Ammunition, says their company has heard from Alliant that they've pulled back their orders and saying, no, we can't fill them, and we're not going to. We can't produce the product that you want. And so apparently their powders that's part of why they're in short supply. So it's hard to find stuff like 2400 and Unique and Power Pistol and some of the other ones that they make. So
it's chemicals and stuff or something to make the gunpowder they're having trouble with?
Yeah, I think it was the nitrocellulose, which is the major component of most of our powders. There's nitroglycerin also, and some of the double base ones, and some graphite and other stuff that goes in there. But I think it was the nitrocellulose that they're having trouble with.
That's another thing in America. The America I see now is more like, I said this a long time ago, it's more like stories my aunt told me about World War II, shortages and components. And components was all kinds of metals was shortage in World War II, my aunt told me.
Oh, yeah.
I still got I have some war bonds back there from my aunt when she passed. I think they were called war bonds. You'd go buy stuff with it. I'll take them out and look at them sometime. I may show you all on the show sometime. Oh, one guy is with us. Good to see you, old one guy.
Yeah, he's been in here for a while.
Yep. M. Gabriel, Mark's Trapping. We've got a good crowd. Let's see how many did that. We'll go ahead and do the drawing. Got 15. Give you another minute or so. Pound, Freedom, 1776. Upper, lower, doesn't matter. I hate to do it if they're going to type. I can tell the difference when I get good gifts. You watch those numbers fly. But I'll try to get more stuff, more patches, some flags. We'll do some flags sometimes. And I can do the screwdrivers. I just felt kind of weird copying Mac, but he don't care. And I may get some screwdrivers. You get them things like those little screwdrivers, which I like them. I have his right here. I have one from PC repair company. I have one from Seba Vision too.
Mhm.
The company I work for with their name on it. That's who I worked for 13 years. Was
Colt,
contact
as
lens
I
company.
recall, that's how Hodgdon got started, was with uh, surplus military powder. He bought like
Mm-hmm.
a couple carloads of it and repackaged it and sold it, and then started his company that way. I think that's right.
Yeah, Bob's right. They made steel pennies. I remember that now. Yeah. Yeah. It's just not, the world's different. It's crazy. We only got one chip maker. I think that's in Taiwan. What happens if China, well, here I go political, China invades Taiwan? All of a sudden, PCs are not going to be built in computers and cars
Mm-hmm.
and chips. So we'll be in trouble. Let me go ahead and let's see. I got so many windows
Spin the
here.
magic wheel.
Yeah, I'm going to
Reloader
bring.
762. Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, good to see you, Reloader 762. He does casting too and reloading.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you can tell
Yeah.
by his name, guys. Check his channel out, guys. He's got good stuff. Let's see. I got to present. This is where it's always strange. Share screen. And I do it in Chrome. That way it's easy. Well, window. Okay. Giveaway 2 right there. Share. Okay. Pull that down. Appreciate each and every one of you guys being here with us tonight. It was great having you. Yukon 5454. I know some of you I've called out before, but I still call you out again. Shout out.
Dale Pogue's in here too. I didn't see Dale come in before.
Good to see you, Dale. Appreciate you being here, brother. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. Let's see if I can find it to hit it. Here we go.
There's she rocking and rolling now.
It's rigged. Ding, 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 ding. G23.
Hey, G23. Good deal.
Congrats, G. It's not much, but hey, I'm trying, G, get more stuff. If you didn't see it, it's a 1776 patch. I have to tap the screen to get it to focus, so I'm not going to do that right now. But it's a good morale patch.
Yeah.
3 inches. It's standard what you see on hats and uniforms and stuff. And I got some flags coming, a few other things, and sometimes some decals for cars with all kinds of sayings on it. I shouldn't be telling you what I'm going to do, but I've got plans to get more stuff here, definitely. Yeah, congrats, G. AR Gun 1776, which he probably knows it, at gmail.com. I should have put that up, too. It's probably in the banner. Send an email, give me your address, and I'll ship it out to you. And thank you for being here. Thanks to all you guys here. You guys rock, I've said before. Kind of get used to this tool.
Great group.
Yeah, sure are. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I mean, when Mecco was streaming, I go, boy, that was a dumpster show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did get kind of crazy there for a while, and I had to kind of calm it down. I had to actually talk with Echo, and I said, we got to quit the locker room talk. Because we want everybody, kids in the reloading room to be able to sit and listen. And I'm in
sometimes it's fun to kind of have a chat like this. It's not really hardcore into the reloading stuff. And Bama Dad, I think it was earlier on in the chat, said something like, yeah, hey, it's just like sitting around on the porch talking to friends. And it is kind of,
Yeah, I seen that. I was going to comment on that. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it. And, I follow your stuff, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. Appreciate Walter being here tonight. And if not, I'd just be here talking to you all. So, and he's got a lot of knowledge. No, something else. Dream rifle. Before we go, what kind of dream rifle would you? I already know. I got several actually. I think we all do. But if you had only one choice, what would it be on the rifle?
I don't know. I got a whole bunch of lever actions that I like, and not much in the way of. I don't hunt anymore, so there's not much point in that. But I might, at some point, could see myself getting into some bench rest shooting, and I'd have to think about an appropriate caliber for that.
I mean, I'm thinking the same way, Walter. I want to get into some precision shooting.
Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't thought about it enough to say, yeah, here's my dream rifle, and here's the caliber I want it in. I just couldn't say. I've probably got 20 rifles and hardly ever shoot those. anymore. They're just sitting in the safes. And so I don't really have one. I might get another Ruger precision rifle. I've got them in the rimfires, the 17 and 22 mag. I wouldn't mind having one of those, and 22 long rifle. They're kind of fun rifles to shoot. They're not real expensive, and it's cheap enough, especially with the 22.
I got several. I want the 44 mag Marlin, and it's out now. Ruger's got that out. I've shot that since I was 11 years old, I think. A friend I went to school with, his father had one. And it was awesome. And the last time I shot that was probably 1982, 83, probably 83. And I like that. And I did have a Tika Tac A1 or A3, I can't remember now. And it was a folding stock, 24-inch barrel, 308 a few years ago. It was precision rifle. And I got rid of it. And it was cost me about almost $2,000 at the time. And I would love to have one like Max got, where you build it, have it blueprinted, the receiver, and then buy your, what is it? I forget that stock here in Georgia. Masterpiece Arms. I'd love to have that. MacMan has that. Boy, have one of those Masterpiece Arms chassis would be awesome. Probably go with MDT if I do one, though. What else? 45 long coat Ruger Vaquero in stainless steel 5.5-inch barrel. That's the pistol, not the rifle, though. So precision rifle and a lever action. And also I want a lever 30-30. So a 44 and a 30-30 and a precision rifle. I got it made. And the cowboy, I can do the cowboy thing, carry that around in the car. And get me a cowboy, get Mark to give me a holster or make me one.
Got my old Winchester Model 94 and 30-30 little saddle gun. I've had that thing for a long time. And I did used to hunt with that. And I've got one of my Henrys is 44, and I've got a Henry lever also in 45 Colt among the rest of the stable of Henrys that are in there, but they're fun to shoot. I like lever actions. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Something that just about them. They were, I call them America's first fast action. Actually, the Indians, I think, if I remember the story, Indians used to rush the guys with the powder, you stuff down in the barrel, flintlocks and all that, or muskets. Well, all of a sudden they started getting shot because the lever come in, and then of course the 45 single action, and that's a story I read years ago. Said something about that. Welcome, Susan. The Hillbilly Chicken Ranch dropped in. Thank you for coming in, Susan. It means a lot to me. Some of you guys that's got wives, girlfriends, check out the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. She's a nice lady up there in Tennessee. She does canning. Got a little ranch there, and she's a good lady. Check her stuff out, guys. Susan, type 1776 and drop your link. And I'm a mod in one of her shows. I think I always end up missing it from time to time. Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, could be wrong. But check her stuff out, guys. It's good people. Matter of fact, me and her need to talk about relatives, because I got a bunch of relatives in the South, and she mentioned that she does from this area.
Hey, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, type 1776 into the chat window, and the Nightbot will put up your channel link. I haven't subscribed to you yet, and I can go find it that way.
I think I've known her now 2 years, maybe, or a year. I know it's been over a year, so it has to be almost 2. And she does sometimes Bible study and talk canning, live streams.
Well, that sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I forgot this. She's gonna be my guest, and we're gonna have an interview. So pretty soon, hopefully, I'll get with her, and we'll get her on the channel here and let her tell you what she does and about her channel. I forgot about that. I apologize, Susan. Totally slipped my mind. I've been having to worry with the car and a lot of things here lately.
Yeah, and 1903 A4. I know Derek Jens and have looked at his stuff, and he and I've talked to Lee directly also numerous times, as has Treetop Flyer. We're kind of all in the mix there. And Derek has a fix that he's done recently.
Yeah, I like that Ultimate. Too bad. I mean, if that turret can get where it'll work, I'd love to have that 5 and 6 stations. I think that'd be awesome. It really would. But I'm on after the show. I'm hooking up the Classic and make sure the RAM goes up and down. And I can't wait. I may do a few rounds on it tonight before I go to bed. So cool. I did get it in. I think I showed you all early in case some of you missed it. Brand new. And I didn't buy it on eBay. I got it from a place I can return, Amazon. early. I had a hard time on that eBay stuff. It taught me a lesson. And but appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Susan, for dropping in here. Let's see. Make sure let me scroll up. Make sure I haven't missed anybody else. 190. Thank you for being here. 1903. I'll just call you 1903. Appreciate you being here. Hope to see all you new people again. MacMan, he's a friend of mine. He's on Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he does dummy rounds with tutorials. So check him out. And I'm in his side chat. Walter's in his side chat too. And Walter's talking earlier. You haven't live streamed, right? I don't think you have.
No, yeah. Never have. Been thinking about it, but haven't.
It's funny. I brought that come up, Walter, because I was actually thinking, Walter, past day or so, I was thinking, Walter has never did a live stream that I can remember.
No, I never did.
Mm-mm. And Mac didn't for quite a few, number of times there. Yeah, he even told me one time, he said, I ain't going to do that.
Yeah, and he's up to 50-something now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he told me one time he first come into mine, he said he's nervous a little bit. And I said, yeah, I was too. It's normal. But the only way to get good at it or halfway where you're comfortable is just keep doing it, and you eventually get more comfortable with it.
Doug Thomas, good night, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, night. Appreciate you coming here, Doug. Good to see you, man. Mark Strapping. I'm going to turn it over to you. Let Viejo tell us what he's got going and close out, and then I'll take over.
More of the same for me. We'll have a Free the Few episode. We're up to about 35 or so of those over on the Rumble channel coming out Friday. In fact, I've got to go to the range tomorrow and shoot the ammo for that one. I had gone Monday and forgotten my chronograph and cameras and everything was sitting on the kitchen table. And so I didn't so I got to go get that done tomorrow so I can get the video out on Friday. And we'll have another piece of the 45 ACP shootout with 230 grain round nose bullets that I've been doing on. We're up to about the 11th or 12th part of that one that comes out on Monday. And within the next 2-3 weeks or so, I'm going to start dragging out the rimfire rifles. I've got several that we're playing musical scopes on, and I've got some new tools coming into the bench to do a little bit better mounting job than I'd done in the past with them. So we're going to swap a few scopes around. I got a couple new of the Monstrum scopes in that I'm actually kind of liking at the price point. They're going to be fine for rimfire, I think, at least. So that's what we got going on here. Not a whole lot else. Really a lot of fun being here tonight. This was a good chat. It was kind of a little bit different direction than what we've been in the past, but it was worthwhile. I thought it was good to interact with everybody on the side chat. So I appreciate very much the invitation to be here and participate. AR.
Great having you, man. Sometimes I kind of do a show. I kind of let it go the direction I guess the chat goes, or I go. Sometimes I kind of, get a format of what I want to do in it, and kind of direction it. But sometimes it's just good to no pressure, stream. I like that sometimes. And we tried to get some things in there about reloading, and I showed you the press. I got that going, and I already did a tutorial on loading rice today on dummy rounds, which kind of surprised me because I was going to do it like 20 minutes, and I wound up just saying heck with it. I'll stay here for a while. But I'm going to start doing more stuff on Rumble. Check out Mac Stream Monday night. I got Georgia Shooting Connection at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's on Friday nights. Check them out. Good group of guys. And I'm going to try to drop some videos of AR build. I can only drop little snippets on YouTube of the AR-15 builds, but I will just go over to Rumble and put some of it. I got to edit it, and then I did a lot of mistakes here, not with a gun, but with the editing here a few weeks ago. So appreciate all you guys and gals being over here in the side chat. Man, you all rock.
Yeah.
And congrats, G. I enjoyed the night.
Yeah, I did too.
Easy streaming with you too, Walter. So
thanks.
I sometimes I've had guests. I remember one time my Echo come on and he was drinking espresso, and my gosh, right before he, split was right, and he ran right over me. Woof. And I couldn't even talk. Bam. And I told him, I said, don't. And he told me that night, he said he was sweating on the back of his neck.
Yeah, be darned. Yeah.
I said, yeah, you talked a lot too. I tried to interrupt him. I couldn't even get a word in. But I try to do a little bit more laid back chat. I always thought like if I did an interview with Walter, it'd be kind of like Mac Man does, is how I would do it. Just questions and talk with the side chat and intermingle with it. But I'm going to try to get Susan on here. And
so that'd be fun. Yeah.
So you guys get your girlfriends and significant others and check her channel out, and I'll introduce you here. I'll get with her and we'll set up a thing. Interview would probably be Monday night before Mac. So I don't know if she's free at that time, but we'll work on it and see. If not,
that'd be cool. I hope we can work that out.
Mm-hmm. And appreciate each and every one of you. See, if I call a side chat, that's going to be a long one tonight. This really rocked. Great to meet a lot of you guys. Check my stuff out. There'll be some stuff on Rumble, some builds. My Lee turret, believe it or not, even though I got more expensive presses, I'm excited about this Lee turret. I just like the way it automates and turns like that. It's not a progressive, but it's close. Yep. And I'm lazy too. I don't want to change dies all the time.
I think you're going to enjoy it. You get your dies set up for, a pet load, and even if within the same caliber, if you want to go buy an extra set of Lee dies for inexpensive and set up, in the same caliber, but another pet load for that caliber, it's not that expensive to go do with that press.
I think I did. I ordered another head. It hadn't come. That and the lever handle, upgrade handles coming here in the next few days. So,
cool. Yeah, that'll be great. Get it all set up and run a few rounds and practice with it a little bit. And then if you got questions, I'd be happy to help you out. But it's so straightforward and simple.
Appreciate it.
It's easy.
Elliot and Walter, give yourselves a pat on the back. I try not to do that. And, let's see. Billy Ranch says, Arkansas Fallen Veterans host Charles passed away. I heard you mention that. Seems like, Susan. I don't know them. If you are sub to his channel, please go by and show some love for his family. Arkansas Fallen Veterans. Check that out. Let's see. Hang on a minute. What am I doing, Susan? Let me make you a mod, Susan. That way, if you want to drop a link when you come, hang on a minute. Let's see. There you go, Susan. You're a mod. If you can drop the link, I don't know the link. I don't know the person. And if you want to, I'll hang on a few minutes before we sign off. And I'll actually, I'll go search too if you don't have the link. But appreciate each and every. Good to see you too, Reloader 762, Ronnie, Quint, John Paul. Appreciate it. He used to do live streams. He still does. I think he's doing some video games now, and he did model cars. And he used to do a lot of streaming. I used to jump in the chat and say hello to him. Good to see GGW Outdoors. Where have you been? Been a while. Like I said, Uncle John, I haven't seen in a long time. It seemed like I think I emailed him here last year and said something about, I'm going to try to get back in the stream and jump in, man. We miss you. So Quentin Nelson, let's see who else. Mark's Trapping and Fishing. I'm just highlighting a few of you guys. Doug Thomas. We pretty much talked to each and every one of you tonight. Let's see. Good to see 1903. Thank you for being here. Bama Dad, all you guys. G. Appreciate it, guys. Great. I enjoyed the night with Walter. You all guys check me out next week at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone that matters, says Rick's Life as I See It. I'm glad his show, I don't interfere with his show because I go over in his side chat. Check out Rick's Life as I See It. He's got a little show he does on Wednesday nights too. I think it starts an hour before mine. But thank you, Walter, for being here, man. I really appreciate it. And 25 on. Wow. Catch you guys later.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for playing along.
Have a good one. I'm going to hang on here on the backside a minute.